morning, everybody, industry colleagues, and the students. Welcome to this event, Digisights 2015, our second edition of Digisights, meant specially for pharma marketing people this year. We, as a company, MediaMedic Communications, we have been into brand communications and medical communications. We began as a venture in the area. However, with our partnership with Global Health PR, we had the opportunity to have various global projects in the area of digital and social media as well as PR. That's when we realized that in India there is an immense need to develop this area and which can offer various solutions to the industry. And that was the first step we took in November 2013 to have the first Digisights in India. Digital medium is evolving yet. We don't have 100% solutions to anything, but it definitely offers a new way of doing things. And welcome all of you to this, and I particularly thank the SIES Institute of Management and the Center of Excellence to have made this happen. Thank you.
There were two objectives behind having Digisights at the Center of Excellence. And one of the objective, of course, is in sync with the Make in India, the Clean India, as well as Digital India. And of course, the world is moving towards the digital media, whether it is booking a air ticket or booking a railway ticket, or probably having a healthcare, maintaining a healthcare record, and various applications of digital media. Probably today, everybody is surrounded with. And on behalf of the Center of Excellence, we wanted, our students, our institute, to actually be a part of this entire digital revolution.
It's very encouraging to speak to people who want to change things in our industry. Last year, to help the industry so that the industry behavior changes. It's not as if the industry is going out and reaching to Dinesh and saying, hey Dinesh, we want to change, we want to do this, we want to do that, and can you help us? No. This guy is struggling everywhere and going everywhere and saying that, you know what, it's going to change. Today, if you want, you're tired, you can do your grocery shopping, any kind of shopping, sitting at your home. Can you? Today, if you want to book your ticket to any event or a film, you can sit at home, get it done. Right? Today, you want to take a clinician's opinion on something that is bothering you, you cannot do it sitting at home. And that's the difference. That's exactly the difference that is happening. So therefore, as I mentioned, we are lagging behind many industries. But what one must think about is that whatever is novelty today becomes the future. A smartphone was a novelty. 3 minutes into 10 calls is 30 minutes. There is a certain level of preparation time for every call. Let's take another 30 minutes. 1 hour. Heads up reporting. Let's say everything put together in a day, productive time of the rep is 1 hour. He or she ends up spending a lot of time traveling, waiting. Happens? So you end up paying for 8 hours of a job for 1 hour of work. Will you do it in a factory or a shop floor? It's actually costing you 40 lakhs a year. And when you start thinking that this person is costing me 40 lakhs a year, and then you start thinking that, what is my productivity and what's my return? The math changes. Completely changes. Nobody looks forward to the interaction. But my hope is that the whole piece of digital enhancement and involvement in our strategy in future will ensure that the divide stops and people use a language or a method or a value of interaction which is actually valuable to both sides. What is the need? And when you talk about a lot of stuff around, and in any company you go, you ask someone, how's your digital strategy going on? They will come out with 7 apps we have developed, and there is this, my uh, people are on iPads, and they can report on smartphones. And so we hear two things: gadgets, a lot of gadgetry talk, and second, we hear a lot of gimmicks. We don't hear that we are building a culture for a meaningful interaction. And friends, my submission to all of you all the time is that ensure that you build and I build a culture which allows meaningful interaction. At the heart of any healthcare issue is credible information that helps a patient to have better outcome. That's all. But can you provide support digitally to create an environment for the patient, to him or her, to have better outcomes? Yes, you can. A little beyond the gadget, a little beyond the gimmick, a little beyond the app, to ensure that all this is being done, is that in your mind, start changing the culture in the organization.
This revolution is just on the way. Not because amazing bright people like you are here, but yes, digital and healthcare in India is moving at a very, very great pace, and an amazing great pace. Let me remind you of something. It took 100 years for people to accept that there can be a drive-away checks. कि आप बैंक के बाहर जाइए, just hand over the check to teller, come from that side, circling the entire bank, and you're going to have your cash back. It took only 30 years for ATM to become a reality, right? It took another only 20 years for internet banking to come and have an access. It just took 10 years for internet banking to move over to a mobile banking. And it only took 3 years for mobile banking to become a full-fledged banking experience. And I think it just took 2.5 years for a company. I think one of the Indian companies have launched that you can now send money by an email, or you can send money by Facebook. So the point I want to make here is disruption is happening. And this disruption, the time involved because of technology is reducing in a very, very drastic pace. 100 साल लगे पहली ब्रांच खुलने में, और अब 2.5 साल लगे mobile banking से next step, which is the Facebook, to only come on place. Get the things which are going to come next, bring that today, then somewhere it's a recipe of failure. Exactly as Mr. Sanjiv said, with the gimmicks. And can we focus on some disruption which can change people look at healthcare? We can integrate patient, chemists, customers, the pharma companies, all of them together in a nice ecosystem. Can that disruption happen? And in fact, let me tell you, it's happening while we are listening to this. And the most important part, I don't think, is the target markets. Because everybody will have acidity, everybody will have such movements. It's very important that can we figure out the right target movements, create a need, let people know that we are there. So how important is target movements? And trust me, digital is the best way to focus and to narrow down and to reach people on the right target movements. That's very, very interesting part. So in case you want to make an emotional awareness, the content on digital can be spread in a very, very huge way. Let's have a look at videos that you're going to create, right? People love to see videos. People love to consume the content in a very, very amazing way. Video graphics to explain patient ki boss aapko disease kya hai, right? Video graphics to explain patient ki what you should do as an oral therapy management area. Quizzes. Imagine, a company now interacting with the young doctors, which going to come up with in the form of quizzes, amazing content. QuizUp, right? Right? I mean, how many of you use QuizUp here? Fantastic. So, see, quiz was a very boring thing, but just a technology and an amazing app made quizzing so bloody interesting. Correct? Why can't we use the same fundamental of making things interesting, making things fun, put them the same content in a very amazing way, and look how brilliantly people are going to engage. You know, when I shifted from media to pharma, if you really want to do uh, educate people and it be rational, look at the contents on infographics, articles, ebooks, press releases, trend reports, guides. These things are not available. I've seen pharma companies have amazing repository of content, which is not available when people just want it, right? Can we now, or can the pharma companies, or can you guys, or can a person, agency think of integrating those content and make available to patient support, to doctors when exactly it is needed? Look at convincing people while being very, very rational. Checklists, calculators, data sheet, case studies, product features, ratings, events, interactive demos, webinars. There's so much you can do on digital marketing. So I try to put you on one slide is, it is not that you can do few gimmicks or few things around this when he goes and interacts with a doctor, right? So look at digital from a very vast perspective. Look at digital from if you're working in a company. So look at digital, how you can use digital to basically connect your employees together. You can look at digital on how basically when a medical rep goes to a doctor, what kind of tools, what kind of strategy, what kind of various content that he's gonna show, which make doctor really exciting about the content. Something called a virtual reality. If you want, maybe a pharma company wants to show a doctor, look how this molecule works, right? Why can't they give them an Oculus or a virtual reality device where actually a doctor can, put the entire device on the head and can actually see how the molecule works right from your swallow to the way exactly it functions. Look at the amount of brand recall which happens. So brand recall will only happen when the doctor or a HCP engages with your content.